The one that got me, like, that was shocking, but the one that got me where I was like, oh my God.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
The blender?
It was the freaking blender, dude.
I think that pretty much wraps it up. Sword Art Online's okay. That's pretty much the consensus we came to this.
Well, I'd rather watch Sword Art Online than this show we're about to talk about.
And I wish I had an award, but I do not have an award. And if I had the award, it would be Skylar holding it, and he'd be handing it to Thane. And it's that this is the worst show we've ever watched on this podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life is Daijoubu, episode 66. Today, we've got a show about a certain little anime called Blood Sea that was, in fact, an anime that we watched. And, of course, we will be getting into that near the halfway point of the show. But I need to introduce some people. I got myself, I'm Cole, and I'm joined by a man who just woke up from a 1,000-year slumber from Turkey comatose, Mr. Thane.
I don't have that much turkey, but yeah.
And then I've also got with me on the far end of the table, he took his hood off, so it doesn't really make as much sense. All right, there we go. A man who fought his way through the Black Friday sales right into prison.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like the shady guy. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a very good
No, you should have seen what I had to do to get that Cabbage Patch. So
the Cabbage Patch?
Yeah, I want that.
You fought your way through 1999 to get that Cabbage Patch?
I had to fight through the Cabbage Patch lovers.
Well, we've got a show, like we said. It's Blood Sea we're going to be talking about. But before we do that, we've got our news, and I actually have a sizable handful of news. Of course, most of it, by most of it, I mean 90% of it, is just anime announcements. So that goes by pretty quick. And we have seasonal shows we can talk about, too. I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that part. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure what we should talk about, whether we should be talking about dumpies or not. So, but we'll talk about something about our seasonal shows when we get there. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, we will be picking a movie to watch because we need to do some pre-recording shenanigans. So not a traditional, I guess Skylar would be the one to pick next, but we'll just be picking a movie to do some pre-recorded episodes of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the outline. Let's jump right on into the news. Starting off, let's just run through all of these anime announcements. First up, we have Me and the Alien Moo getting an anime.
Manga.
Manga.
It's a manga. You guys are both right. Good job. It looked like it was supposed to be a comedy alien thing. I don't know.
Then the tentacles are right.
Then it's not comedy no more.
It's not comedy more.
Next up is Shibake. Could not tell you if that's
You go first,
properly.
It sounds like a manga.
Yeah, manga.
It's a novel.
Oh.
Correct. This one is actually a name you may have heard, especially Skylar. You and I are polar opposites.
Oh, that's definitely a manga.
Have you not heard of this guy?
I don't think so.
I've read this.
Oh, you've read it.
It's cute.
Okay. I wasn't sure Thane would. Well, I guess he does read everything on Jump Plus.
Yeah,
so.
it's funny. On the last chapter, they announced an anime adaptation. It's like the manga's over. Here's an anime.
So it's a short or manga.
Yeah, it's like 65 chapters.
It's a rom-com?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it's not coming until 2026, so you got a ways to go, it looks like. Next up is Cat's Eye.
Oh, that's a classic.
It is a classic, yeah. So this is a remake
Yeah.
of that classic
And
on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Good job, Disney.
It's from the guy who made City Hunter.
I gotta spit out my gum.
Oh, he's got some gum.
He's got some gum in his
Was
mouth.
it Strident?
It's extra.
Extra double mint.
I don't want the
Just
chew
kidding, not
noises
double
in
mint.
the mic.
You don't want the chew noises? What if they want a little bit of a touch of ASMR?
They have to subscribe to our OnlyFans then.
Gotcha. Cool. Next up, we've got Anne Shirley. That's the name of the anime. Any guesses?
I would say novel. Yeah, probably novel.
You guys are bright, but not in the way that you're thinking.
Oh, it's an overseas. It's like an international novel.
It's a classic Canadian novel. The original title is Anne of the Green Gables.
Oh, Anne of the Green Gables. Yeah, I know that one. And there's been several anime adaptations of that one.
Oh, really?
That's popular in Japan.
Gotcha. I had no
Popular
idea.
is like Heidi or The Dog of Flanders, like that. Like Japan loves those kinds of novels.
Let's get an anime. Next up is There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover Unless...
Is
I'll
that-
say
is that-
light novel.
Is that a light novel?
It's a novel, yeah. It's a Yuri, so I'm watching that.
Oh, wow.
It's a comedy.
Wow.
Subscribe.
So that'll be fun. Last one we have is The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Wife. Is there a bug flying around me? Or are you looking at me weird?
There's a big fly.
I saw it up there,
No.
but Thane was like looking at me, so I thought it was behind me.
I wasn't looking.
Anyway, The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Wife.
Manga.
I'm gonna say novel.
It's a manga.
Dang it.
And that's all we have for anime announcements. Last thing I have on the news is that Star Wars Visions is getting a third season, if you want to call it that. And this one, we have a bunch of returning studios from the first season, which is Kamikaze Doga, Kinema Citrus, Production IG, Trigger. So those are the returning ones. There's new ones. There's one called Anima, which is they're doing the co-production with Kamikaze Doga. So I don't know what that one's. It's just they're working together. And we got David Production, Polygon Pictures, Project Studio Q, and Wit Studio.
Wow.
So for all you Star Wars gamers out there, we got some more anime Star Wars coming up. Look forward to that.
Oh yeah, to address the elephant in the room, yes, I
guess this is kind of a good point.
Katakawa, or at least Sony, is trying to acquire Katakawa, which has some people concerned, since they don't really like Sony right now. And not related to, well, kind of related to anime, but it's a video game studio that Katakawa currently owns. It's called From Software, and they're afraid Sony is gonna ruin them somehow. But looking into it, apparently it's that Katakawa actually wants to be bought by Sony. They actually pushed for it because they don't want to be bought by any other company, like outside of Japan. They want to be Japan owned, so they don't like have to do any foreign. So really, they're pushing for Sony to buy them, so they could still operate as like kind of a semi-independent entity. It's just that Sony would be under their wing.
I think everyone's biggest issue is they are afraid that Sony is going to lock all FromSoft games to Sony exclusive.
That's true.
That's their only big issue.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Sony buying them any different than Microsoft buying all the companies they have. Although Microsoft has made it blatantly obvious, especially now with the release of Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, with their first party IPs, that they're going to be cross console.
I think they even announced Indiana Jones, the new Indiana Jones game coming out. I think they even announced that a PS5 version is eventually coming. So it's like, okay.
I think it's a good thing. I think that consumers win,
but
when things aren't locked to consoles.
Yeah, that's true. But
I could see Sony doing it though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope they don't.
I think Sony.
What gives me hope? Sorry, last thought. What gives me hope though is like Sony's done other things that are like cross console now, like some of their other big titles. So
it's mostly been for PC, but
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's still PC. The one thing they do is that what Microsoft doesn't really do is that they release it on PS5 first for a while and then release on PC. Microsoft just released on Xbox and PC. I know that they own, like, Microsoft makes PCs, the Windows, but it's like, I think they would benefit a bit from having a limited Xbox release before the PC release, but that's just me. People buy their consoles more. I'm doing the Donald Trump hands. But anyways, that's all I've got. I didn't look into what anime companies they own. Last time I saw Kadokawa logos when we watched the Tatami Galaxy.
I mean, Kadokawa has a bunch of like rights to manga. I know.
Yeah.
Like Attack on Titan, for example. That's one of their big ones.
Oh yeah, they got.
So this isn't just a small. This is a huge company.
Oh, Kadokawa is enormous. Yeah, it's big. Like, so when I say the rights to the like Attack on Titan, I don't actually know if this includes like the anime adaptation, but I'm assuming it does.
Yeah, I think it does because I've seen the Kadokawa logo.
So if they have a title under their wing, I think they have all the different versions of it as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything really changes much if Sony buys them personally. On the anime side, I don't have any stock in the rest of it. I'm just talking anime side.
I hope they look at From Software and just look at the numbers they've done and just leave them alone. Because like Elden Ring has sold like 13 million units.
I think it's more than that, dude.
It is
I thought it was upwards like closer to 20. I'm gonna Google that real quick.
It's like a smash success how much Elden Ring has made.
Well, we have the Elden Ring manga, so that's all that matters.
25 mil.
Damn, that's even more.
As long as we have the Elden Ring manga still available to purchase, then we will be happy. You could do whatever you'd like to do, Sony, as long as you don't cut the Elden Ring manga.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much wraps up news. Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk seasonal anime. We're coming up on the end of the season. We've got roughly the rest of the month until the season's over. I say rest of the month because this would come out on December. In December. So we've got the rest of the month to finish up the season of fall. How are you guys enjoying this season so far?
I'm very behind on everything but I'm planning to get caught up through December.
Well, you'll have like a whole month break essentially of our shows anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having fun. I like it.
I think Dan to Dan carries the whole season. It's just a peak show. It's one of the best anime ever made, at least for this year. It's the best anime this year, probably.
I'm really enjoying it personally too. Yeah. Like I think this season is pretty banger. Like obviously Dan is the standout, but I think the rest of the shows like that I'm watching and I'm enjoying are good. Yeah. They're fun to watch. I'm excited to go watch them, even the dumb ones. There's not really I haven't like started a show and dropped one yet. The shows that I haven't dropped any
either, but there might be a few unfinished ones. Sorry.
The shows that I haven't started, I just haven't started, so I don't know if I'd count that as a drop or not. Yeah. I've not dropped one show so far, and that's a first for me, and I think even just doing this podcast, which is pretty crazy. But there is still, like, I think at least 2 shows I can think of that I just never even started. And then a third being that I promised I was going to watch one episode of that weird show that I don't even remember. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that episode of the podcast to find out what episode or show that was. I still will watch that. I promise I will still watch that. At least one episode. I'm going to get to, like, the last week of the season, watch the episode and go, dang, this is actually a banger. I need to get on it, you know.
I was going to ask you about the one show that I think it's Sumasho.
Suma Show, yeah.
Suma Show.
That's what I said. I don't know if I'm saying it right. So it's good. It's a good show. It's not like groundbreaking, and they do things in the story that I wish they wouldn't. But it's not my story, so I don't have a say. Right. And I don't know. I think it's a good little package of a show. I don't know where the manga ends. I read I don't remember if you remember me saying that I read like a couple chapters of this manga back months ago. Mm-hmm. Saw that there's going to be an anime, so I just dropped the manga and didn't even bother with it. And I'm farther in the anime than I was in the manga at this point. So I don't know how the manga ends at all. The manga could literally end where this anime season ends, and I could totally see this being just a 12-episode show. That's just a solid 12-episode show. It's got some really unique storytelling and characters as a result of the storytelling that's unique. The last episode that I saw, I think
way to play with words.
You like that?
Yeah.
Just playing around with them, just slapping them on. I think I'm one episode behind. There might have been like one that came out yesterday and I didn't watch it because Thanksgiving. But the last episode I did watch, it ended on a cliffhanger, if you will. Not like a crazy cliffhanger, but like one of the it's a thing that the characters talked about that I've been wanting them to talk about since like episode 2. So I'm all for it. I hope everything works out perfectly how I imagine it in my head. And if it does, then we're gaming. We're really gaming. But yeah, good show. It's fun. If you like the unique premise of it, the whole the wife gets reincarnated. That's an okay way to put it, I guess. Reincarnated into a little girl, and they go, "Oh shoot, you're our parent/wife." That's crazy. And then the show continues from there without saying anything about the show.
It's got an interesting premise that I haven't started yet, but just based off of the first time you pitched it, it sounded interesting.
I still think it's interesting. I don't think it's like a 10. I don't think the story is like a 10 or anything like that. It's average, but above average, I would say. It's above average. Definitely not like your 7. It's probably an 8. So above average. Yeah, there you go. There's the show that I that I can talk about, I guess. I don't know what else to talk about if I'm being honest. Like, there's a couple shows that I've already talked about that I've wanted to bring up again, like the Trillion game one. It's still stupid fun. I'm enjoying it. I watch it dubbed, and so I'm a couple episodes behind from where the sub is. But regardless, dude, it's just like they're just being stupid, and they make money. It's really funny to just watch them make money because they're just being dumb. It's good stuff. What about you, Sky? What's a thing you'd like to talk about the seasonal shows?
I mean, I think I've legit talked about all of the good ones.
You have any dumpies? Have you dropped any?
I've dropped a ton.
Oh wow.
Give us one of the dumpies.
I don't even know if I have any necessarily dumpies. Because I think the last time I talked about the Nina one, so the princess that dies and then they get a homeless girl to take her place.
Yes. Yeah.
That one's pretty cute. The Yakuza one is still fun. Like, there's a second boy that showed up.
I've been seeing like clips of that one, and that one makes me kind of interested.
Yeah, it's got an interesting plot. I'm liking where that's going.
What's the Yakuza one called again? It's the girl fault, like where the girl and the Yakuza dude.
I don't know the full title.
Yeah.
I can find out. I wrote Yakuza Fiance, but I'll tell you the full title of it. But yeah, I mean it's fine. Like I'm having fun. Yakuza Fiance, and then it's the Japanese Raisei wa Tanagali.
Yeah. I also like the season. Like, there's no shows I want to drop really yet. Although I haven't watched Tower of God from the last season, it's still going. So I don't know if I'm gonna drop that one and just go read the webtoon comic, whatever they call it, the manhwa. But yeah, this season's been pretty banger so far. I like Shangri-La Frontier. I think that's a fun one.
Oh, that's still going?
Yeah, that one.
Is that carryover?
That one, in my opinion, clears SAO.
I don't think it's a carryover. I think it's just a season 2, isn't it?
No, carries, clears.
No.
It's a season 2.
Yeah, it's season 2. Okay.
Oh, but it didn't start last season, did it?
No, it
It
started
was a
last year.
carryover when it did air originally, but that was like at the beginning of the
This
year.
is
I
also
think.
another
see.
two core seasons, so
it'll
they're
carry
pumping.
over to the next
They're
one.
pumping
48
these out.
episodes.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Yeah, I also like it way better than SAO.
I don't know about that. I'm just kidding. I've never seen it. I have no opinion.
I like it better than
Oh,
SAO.
you were just being an SAO stand.
Yes,
for a second.
absolutely. Kirito's my goat.
Here's your Grammy.
Here,
Or
no,
your
you I
Oscar.
should say
My second sword.
I should say that to Alex. See what he thinks about that.
I don't
got
think
a
you've ever
question
seen
for you
it.
guys. This could be an SAO rant. Do you think that people that absolutely love SAO is like purely because of nostalgia? Because in my humble opinion, the first 12 episodes are really good, and everything after that, minus the guns. I like the guns. Gun Gale, and I
Gun
haven't
Gale.
seen the newest season that you said's a
Elicitation.
banger. I guess I'm talking about Base, SAO, season 1
So
and
you don't
2.
like Alfheim, and you don't like, I don't know what they call it, Return to SAO with the freaking Asuna. Asuna is the protagonist of that season.
I don't even remember that one. I know I watched it because that's where she goes and hangs out with the girl, right?
Yeah, purple hair girl.
That I actually enjoyed that part.
Oh, okay.
Learning about girl in hospital.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't care about that.
See, I thought that was pretty fun. The fairies, I didn't really care for though. Like the fairy.
let me just coagulate everything you just said.
Uh-huh.
Sword Art Online is good, except for these 12 episodes and only the 12 episodes. 60 of them probably pretty good, but only the 12. So I don't know. Like, I like where you're going with this, but your argument fell flat when you started saying everything's good except for just 12 episodes. Because now it's on a nostalgia thing. You just said it was good. You just said, yeah, just these 12 were kind of dumpy.
I guess in my head, people hold SAO as like this crowned jewel of anime, and I don't
think people.
I don't think it is.
I don't think people do. I think
They
only
probably
one
did
of our
for the
friends
first.
do.
They probably did for the first half of the first season, and then the second season soured.
I think we have one friend who
Yeah.
very much so likes it, and that's clouding your
It could
idea of what
be.
people think
It
of the
could
show.
be. It could be. I just feel like I've heard tons about SAO, even from the very beginning of me getting into anime.
Sure. At the beginning of the anime, because that was. I think SAO is like the gateway anime. It's what people watch and gets them into anime and go, oh shoot, this is
maybe we should
cool.
maybe we should have him on to come and defend.
Well, and I guess where my thoughts come from is like I mostly hear about that first half a season of anime. Nobody else talks about anything else.
That's
Like,
because it's pretty good.
you're the only one that talks about Gun Gale.
I like Gun Gale, and then like the spin-off Gun Gale's fun. Elicitation I think is like surprisingly good. There's some like moments in Elicitation that either don't make sense or are just very bad. I will say that.
Do you
but
think anything in SAO trumps the first 12 episodes?
I think Elicitation does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I probably should watch that one.
I think like the overall story of Elicitation, and this is kind of silly too because it's also like the first half of Elicitation is better than the second half. That said, I don't think the second half is bad like Alfheim was for SAO.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Obviously it's all subjective, but I think Elicitation maybe not clears, but it's on par. Like the storytelling in Elicitation is pretty dang solid. You just have to like suspend your disbelief on the stupid way that they get to the situation they are in, because it's like future technology bullcrap that they do. It's not even spoiler. I'll just say it. So apparently these things called fluct lights in our brain, and that's what helps us dream. And so there's this technology that's like trying to like piece together these fluct lights or something like that can put you into your dream like it's a video game more or less, and then you just live in your dream, and you dive into your dream like it's basically how can we upstage nerve gear. Oh, let's make it into our dreams, and then their video game has no limitations because it's just a dream. You know, that's basically what it was.
I see.
And so Kirito does that. He goes in there, and it's very, very confusing. On like the very like first like 3 episodes, you're like, what the freak is happening? Like he's just jumping in and out, but it's not like very well told out like why he's in and out. But then after they finally get going, it's like, okay, now I get it. But those still first episodes don't quite make sense because I don't know, dude. It's weird. Regardless, I think the story's good. I really do think Elicitation's good. So that's my rant on SAO. Alfheim's not great at all, and I don't want to call it the name in my head because that's just kind of rude. I'm just gonna call it Return to SAO is what I'm gonna call it when they go back and just hang out with Austin. Austin is the main character.
To be honest, that whole season, all I remember is her going to the hospital. So
Yeah.
that must be the only part that stuck with me.
Oh yeah, I mean I know that they hang out in SAO. Austin and
she
the girl.
had AIDS. They actually said that.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, they said she got AIDS.
It was confirmed.
I didn't
yeah,
know that's
she's
what it
in the
was.
dialogue. He says that. She has a disease known as something this AIDS. It's like must have been from her parents. Please tell me it was from her parents.
I have no idea. I had no idea that was what it actually was. But
Yeah,
regardless, they do go to SAO at some point and they play and they fight each other and have a good battle, and then the end of the season happens and we move into good anime.
See that, like, I guess that could be for an entirely different discussion, but I guess what I probably really liked about that, although I saw this years later because we just watched it recently, was the movie with Eblin,
Oh,
It's
yeah,
very much
Uh-huh.
paralleled right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it like that, I didn't think about it like that.
See, that was
though.
I think that's why it stuck out with me, because even back then I remember watching it and being like, oh, that's super cool. The only thing, this is really stupid, but the only thing that I could really draw a parallel to that up to that point in my life was the grandfather from Spy Kids 3 who didn't have legs, but then he played the video game and he got his legs back. Anyway,
Shout out Spy Kids.
different rant, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sword Art Online's a really interesting series because it's regarded in our brains as like the one that got us into the anime.
And
really,
maybe
for the
that's
most
what
part.
it is.
That
Maybe
wasn't
that's what
me.
it is in
That
my
wasn't
brain.
me. That was Dragon Ball Z back in the 2000s.
Dragon Ball Z was your anime.
Actually, the one that got me into simulcasting.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's how do we define what gets an anime? Because all of us watched Pokemon as a kid. All of us watched
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh or Dragon Ball and stuff. Do we
The-
count those as getting us an anime? Because I wouldn't count those. I watched freaking
Well,
Sailor Moon and Totoro.
well, I
I'm
watched-
not a wee because I was a
So
kid.
when I got really into anime was when I went online to go watch episodes of Bleach. So Bleach got
Bleach
me
is
into
what got you
anime.
into it.
I would say
It's
Death
ironic 'cause
Note
I don't
or
like
Attack on
that
Titan got me.
Yeah.
Mine was either SAO or Attack on Titan. I don't know which my first one was. It's been it was one of those things I just never like think about what was my first one.
Attack.
I would guess SAO because I heard about it and I liked the idea of it, and so I went to go find it and I watched it and said, "Dang, dude, this anime thing is kind of cool." Then I found Attack on Titan and then so on.
Attack on Titan made me discover Crunchyroll and has all these
Simul releases
casts.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like, whoa, they're releasing anime same day from Japan. I gotta hop on this.
Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of people have very fond memories of SAO is because of just the fact that it's partly what got them into anime. But like when you really like look back on it, like it's just okay. There's some good moments, there's some good arcs, but for the most part it's your pretty average anime. That said, I will say it's above average. I will say it's better than the bad anime. That whenever we say an anime is bad or just meh, I think SAO is better than that.
I would agree. I mean, it's good enough to make a cultural impact. And I guess another connection I have with it is Ready Player One, where at least in the books, I can't remember if in the movies, but at least in the books, there's direct references to it.
It would have been the second book because that's when you said they do the SAO thing. I never read the second book, but I don't remember them saying anything about SAO in the first book.
It was the second book.
Was it?
Because
Yeah.
didn't you say they go into like they get stuck in the game or something in the second book, and it's like, oh, this is like SAO.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So that
Okay.
was even years later, though. Then so
Yeah, I think you even showed me a page where they straight up just name drop Sword Art Online. It's like, we're stuck in the game, and we'll die in the game, we'll die in real life. Just like Sword Art Online. It's like, oh.
Just like Sword Art Online. Yeah. So SEO's fun. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's fun. It's got its highs. I think its highs are pretty dang good. Honestly, the moments like there are one or two moments. There's the hype moments, and then there's the actual like emotional moments because like you just basically have been watching these characters for way too long, and so you're kind of emotionally invested into their lives. But the hype moments of SAO for some reason always go so hard. Even in Gun Gale spinoff with the little girl runs around with the pink P90, like even that has like crazy like, oh my gosh, what the freak. I don't know if you guys are watching the season 2 of it, but
I've watched a few episodes.
freaking she kills a person by smashing her head into them multiple times. It's like, oh my god.
Wasn't that episode 3?
No, it was
Oh.
episode 9.
Okay, I gotta get caught up.
I've got the direct reference here, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hit
it.
Of course, I understand its potential, you idiot, Samantha shouts. She looks around the table. Christ, haven't any of you rewatched The Matrix lately or Sword Art Online? Plugging your brain and your nervous system directly into a computer simulation is never a good idea.
Wait, was The Matrix a bad idea?
No,
No, it's just the Matrix is like plugging into something.
Sure,
Yeah.
but it was never a bad thing. They just lived there. That's just what they did.
well, they were forced to.
They were batteries.
Yeah, they're batteries.
Oh, I
for-
didn't remember that part of the plot, if I'm being completely honest. It seemed like their life was fine, though, in The Matrix.
I mean, it's
You could make the argument maybe that, like, maybe Neo shouldn't have gotten him out of the Matrix. He should have just left him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole red pill, blue pill thing that everyone always talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and rewatch it, get the exact details, but I know that their life in the Matrix was fine, but their bodies IRL are literally being zapped of energy.
Yeah, because they're in those pods.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's very alien looking too, like in those pods.
Yeah, because they're plugged into the back of their neck.
Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Sword Art Online's okay. That's pretty much the consensus we came to this.
Well, I'd rather watch Sword Art Online than this show we're about to talk about.
Yep, it's that time. Let's talk about Blood Sea. Full
Blood Sea.
spoilers. I think you
Full
said you watched the
spoilers.
movies.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna
I don't
get
care
extra.
about spoilers about that. So if we want
yeah.
to, we can say full movie spoilers.
Yeah,
as
full
well.
movie sports for Last Vampire from 2000 and Blood Sea: The Last Dark. See what they did there?
Oh, I remember at the beginning when you first said something about that. You said it was like a vampire show,
Yeah.
and I was like watching. I'm like, she's not a vampire until the very end. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she
They
kinda
don't
a
really allude
vampire.
that she's a vampire.
The only thing that you even get is
Oh, the red eyes too.
Well, the red eyes, but also the creepy guy keeps saying feast. I want you to feast. Like when
Yeah.
it shows all the blood vials and then
Yeah.
like you don't see who it is. It's Coffee Boy, but you don't see that till the very
Yeah.
end. You
Wait,
just
let
you have
me-
to pick
Okay,
up on
let's-
his
let's-
voice.
Let me
Synopsis,
summarize real
synopsis,
quick.
Summarize.
Jesus.
Sorry.
So the show begins where there's a cute girl named Saya Kisaragi, and she just seems like a normal high school girl. That's what episode 1, until the very end where she's fighting a monster with a sword and her eyes turn red. Turns out it's all a lie. The nice gentleman, I can't remember his name. Coffee Boy. Turns out he's evil, and he made up this whole town that she was supposed to defend, which she does very badly.
Oh, she's so bad.
It turns
That was
out it's
9
all,
episodes,
yeah,
by the way. Thane just in 3 sentences described 9 episodes.
Yeah, which shows how bad this show is, how boring the show gets. And yeah, like it's all an experiment from this guy because Sayo is a ancient vampire warrior that for some reason he brainwashes. They don't really explain it that well, even in the movie. Even if I tell you what happens in that movie, you'd be like, "Why did he do all this?"
So
Why
they
is this-
still didn't explain why.
Yeah, it's very elaborate. It's like, why did he do this specific part, make up this fake town, and then have the ending, which I'll get to. And when you hear it, you'll be like, what? Yeah. So yeah, like she's supposed to defend the town from the monsters, but she does it really badly because sometimes she'll just sit there and watch most people die unless she psychically knew these people were fake. But they just die. This show is so violent. Like, it is excessively violent. And I like violent anime, but at times it's like, Jesus Christ, calm down.
I gotta know, was there any spots you guys looked away from? Was there anything that was about to happen? You said, I'm not watching that one.
Oh, I think I know what you're thinking. Was it the leg rip?
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't look at that one. I turned away. I'm like, I'm not watching this one.
Yeah, when there's a brutal part where at like the end, this lady gets these monster has like 2 human hands, and it grabs her by the legs, goes, and you see the intestines come out.
Yeah.
Even
I said,
It's
I'm not
like,
watching that one.
What the hell? Why is this so well detailed? Who's the psychopath who drew this?
When she was grabbed and like they grabbed the leg and they grabbed the other leg and I'm like, oh, I know where this is going. And then she goes, it hurts, stop. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
And then I turned back after it was done.
The one that got me, like, that was shocking, but the one that got me where I was like, oh my God.
Was it? Can I guess?
Yeah.
The blender?
It was the freaking
Oh my
blender,
Yeah,
dude.
the bunny's taking people going.
I looked away at that one too, but then my screen froze or my video I was watching froze, so I had to look back, and I just see the blood flying in the air. It's frozen. I'm like, oh,
It's that whole final sequence was just nutty, dude.
was
Where
nutty.
all the extras, well, I guess everybody. It wasn't
Yeah.
just the extras. Everybody died.
Yeah, well, there are extras in the village. There's, it's all pretty much just a made-up village. I don't know how he pulled that off. I guess
what movie? Like what? Like, these people realized they were dying.
Yeah.
Like, they knew that, like, oh, people are actually dying. Like, why are we still here doing this movie? Like, what? Get the freak out, guys.
Yeah.
Leave. I've got a take, I'm going to say. And I wish I had an award, but I do not have an award. And if I had the award, it would be Skylar holding it, and he'd be handing it to Thane. And it's that this is the worst show we've ever watched on this podcast.
I don't know.
That's my thoughts. This is the worst show we've ever seen on this podcast.
I mean, I thought Afro Samurai was pretty bad too.
I thought Afro Samurai was so much better than this.
Really?
I would rewatch Afro Samurai 3 times before rewatching this show.
Yeah.
This show, in my opinion, was horrendously terrible. It wasn't engaging. The violence was unnecessary. It was literally, we just want to make a violent show,
Yeah.
and so they did what they did. The characters were insufferable. The plot was confusing and convoluted until the end when they told us the plot didn't even matter to begin with.
Yeah.
It was just horrendously terrible. I would never want anyone to ever watch
You know
this
what's
show
the
ever.
saddest thing? This show had potential. It's the worst thing is that it had potential. The monster designs were cool, like some of the coolest monster designs I've seen in anime. Do you disagree?
I disagree. I
Oh.
don't think they're that good. I think they're fine. I
I
don't
like
think they're some of the coolest in anime.
You don't like the one where the lady had like just a spine and
No,
then she had her
that's-
hair?
That was literally, we just want to make something grotesque,
Yeah.
and not because we want to make a
I think
cool
that looks
monster.
cool. I think that looked cool.
I don't think it's that good.
Also, the fake train monster.
The freaking first monster you fight in Dark Souls looks better than that freaking floating head with the spine.
I think it's very unique. I'm with Thane on this.
Yeah,
one.
I think it looks unique. I thought also some of the fight scenes were pretty good. Like a lot of the fight scenes were pretty good. They were well choreographed. Like, yeah, it kind of took long for her to get the glowing red eyes, but whatever. And that's all I really have all the praises. Other than Saya's cute, and also you see her naked.
I don't think she's even that cute, dude.
I thought the intro was cool.
The intro's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, the
intro's
intro's
cool.
fine.
I don't know, dude. There's something about her design. Maybe it's just the
it's
fact
the
how
sti-
stupid she is. That's what did it for me.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
not
the
think she's
style of
cute.
Clamp. If you don't like their style, like they do Cardcaptor Sakura, X 1999. If you ever watched that one,
I'm with you on this one too. Thane.
Tsubasa.
That's literally the first line I have in my notes is main girl's cute.
yeah,
I thought she was cute at the beginning, and then I saw how stupid she was, and it just ruined everything in my mind
well,
about
she
her.
was. Well, they made her stupid on purpose. Well, the bad guy made her stupid on purpose. Turns out she's actually like very smart.
It doesn't
in that.
matter because that's not even
Yeah.
the character I watched. I watched
Yeah.
11 episodes of a
You
stupid
watched
girl.
the lobotomized version.
Yep. So, and like one like final dig I got is like, how many times did she wait till all of the people around her died before she started to get into the fight? She's like, oh, let's watch this person get brutally mutilated before I go and actually
That's
try
not
to fight
even.
this
That's
thing.
not even in line with like her previous character of her previous shows. She actually acts a lot faster in like Blood
Sure,
Plus
that's
and
not what I
Blood the
saw,
Last
though.
Vampire. That's not even like. It's like why are you standing around? What gives you an excuse, you
Like,
dumb bitch?
The very worst one was the school, right? Because
Yeah.
we see the freaking monster coming, and instead of going out there to confront it to stop it from getting in, like fighting people, instead, the very last second, she goes, "Everybody, get away from the door or the windows," and they all just
Already
get murdered.
3 people are dead.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
it's so bad, dude. It's so.
If
so
it wasn't
bad.
fake people, then I wouldn't feel as bad.
They
But
weren't
like,
fake; they were real people.
well, I mean, like, not actual students. Like they were hired too.
They weren't. They didn't know they were gonna get
Yeah.
like brutally murdered, though.
That's true.
That's not what they signed on for. The main cast knew that was a potential.
Yeah.
Like they were told that like, hey, this could be a thing. That's why you're going to be risking your life for this role or whatever. But you get some crazy reward for doing it. But I don't think the extras had any of that. I
Yeah.
think they were just there and all of a sudden getting murdered and like, this sucks.
I think my 2 biggest issues with this entire thing is, one, the main girl sucked, and I don't even care if that's part of the plot. Like, you got to make me like some aspect of her, because there's literally zero. She's very boring, and then the why of the plot never gets answered. Like, why is any of this even happening?
well, that gets
try to do
answered
this-
in the move. Not really.
They try to do a clever twist at the
Yeah.
end, but it's like, you just put me to sleep for 9.5 episodes.
Yeah.
And then you drop this plot twist. You don't tell me why, and it doesn't matter. Like the part 2 that got me, I was laughing in my head, was we just had these emotional deaths with all these main casts, and then they're back.
Instantly back.
Turns out they suck, and then they die again away. It was so dumb. I don't know. I don't think this show really had any redeeming qualities for me other than you could argue the fight scenes and monster designs, like Thane said, but it's kind of subjective at that point. I'm with Cole on this one. The blood is just unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was like to me, this just felt like a display of gore. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know. Who can make the goriest death?
Mm-hmm.
It's like what's that movie that they do that? It's where they die. Final Destination. It's kind of like Final Destination, but an anime, right?
Yeah, except Final Destination's kind of creative.
Yeah, it's creative with their deaths. This one is just like,
So you have a giant monster
of
just
people.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. And then like
let's have a giant monster do this.
the voice actor for Saya was Kaguya from Kaguya-sama Loves War's voice actor. So like the first 3 episodes, I can't get that out of my head that I'm just watching Kaguya.
Yeah.
It took me a while, but after I got out of that, I was just like, okay, this show's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Thane. I think I'm giving you the reward. You got the
Damn it.
pick the worst show.
Don't worry, Thane.
Skylar held on to the trophy for
I
months and years.
could potentially take it back.
Listen, I accepted the award. I didn't know this show would be this bad. All I knew it was violent.
I love it.
And yeah. And also, it didn't even have that bad of a rating on like the anime sites. It had like a 60.
It's got like a 7 on freaking AniWave.
Yeah. But the thing is, we have picked anime that have had decent to like average scores, and it's probably one of the worst things we've seen. Angels of Death, for example.
When did this one come out? When did Blood Sea come out?
2010.
Oh, so it's not like I thought this was like early 2000s in my head, but
No, it's like going past the edgy era. We're like going past the super edgy era of the early 2000s.
I thought Angels of Death was better than this. I thought well, the other one that I always go back to is the freaking
Be the Beginning.
Be the Beginning. At least that one had sustenance to it.
Yeah.
That was the one I always put in my head as the worst one we've done so far. But yeah, it was dethroned. He was dethroned.
I can't defend this show anymore.
Wait, did you in the past?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to defend it for its monster designs and its fights, but
I
that's all I've got for it. That's
think,
it.
I don't think the monster designs are like bad.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're top or like
Yeah,
I don't
well,
even think
I didn't
they're
say
even
they
near
were-
the top of anime.
I didn't say they were top quality.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
you
thought
didn't
they
say
were
top.
very uniquely designed. I
Sure.
thought they were good.
I think
thought
the
they were
word-
serviceable.
I think the word that they're uniquely designed is good.
Yeah.
I think that works. I don't think they're great.
But who knows?
But-
If I watch Blood Plus, which I've always wanted to watch, which I've heard is actually good, you might find better monster designs.
Is Blood Plus a prequel?
No, Blood Plus is an alternate it has nothing to do with this show or even that little movie I watched. It's a completely alternate continuity, and it's 50 episodes, so yeah, it should be able to tell its full story within the anime and not have you confuse you and then have to go watch a movie which doesn't mean anything.
Did she end up being able to kill the coffee guy? At the
Yes.
end? Okay.
She's
cool.
he's like the main bad guy. And so I'm going to go into the movie now. So
Let's go.
spoilers for Blood, The Last Dark.
Is this a direct sequel?
Yes, more or less direct sequel. So Saya, that cute, bubbly personality, it's completely wiped away. It's like her old person. It's like her personality from Blood the Last Vampire, where she's like hard and serious now, and she always has this mean scowl on her face. Yeah, the cute personality is completely erased. So it's like, if you didn't like cute Saya, like you'll probably like this version better because it's more a line of classic Saya from the 2000s movie. But anyways, she's better at killing now because she's not suppressed, and so she whenever she sees a monster, she instantly goes into action. I like this movie a lot better than the anime, because it's more fun because it feels like an action movie. But
do you like Saya better?
yeah, I
She's
like
a
Saya better.
demon?
Yeah. I mean, she's not spectacular, but like she's more bearable. Also, you also see her naked boobs.
Well, you see that one girl's tit at the end. She dies and her dress, her like thing flops
I
out.
didn't notice that because it's all covered in blood.
Yeah, dude, that doesn't do anything for me.
It's like your half her neck's ripped off.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
much.
was just pointing out facts. I didn't say I was getting turned on.
Yeah.
Skylar, that's gross. Don't get turned on.
But anyways, she meets a group of new friends who are like way more interesting than any of the other characters in there, and like they're in a group that are trying to take down the big bad guy, which the coffee guy's head of.
Coffee Inc.
Yeah, and at the end she's fighting, and it turns out the one guy that was helping the little guys, he's the coffee guy's cousin, and actually he was actually like a double agent for him. And
Was the little dog something?
no, the little dog is actually tied to another character from another Clamp show.
Oh,
So they try to tie that into it. It's like, what the hell?
weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his purpose, was like say, hey, I'm part of the bigger Clamp universe. And it's like, okay.
What about her best friend that actually didn't die in the TV show?
Oh, I'll
Did she
get to
end up
that. I'll
dying?
get to that in a
Okay,
second.
She dies then. Got it.
So no.
Oh, she doesn't.
She becomes the new bad guy.
No. Here, let me explain. So anyways, the coffee guy also plays his cousin again by turning him into like a sacrifice for a giant monster, and then he merges with the monster, and then and it's a huge CG monster, and then Saya easily defeats it, even though it looks like a world-ending threat. and then she meets the coffee guy. And then he like stabs like, finally, I was trying to able to have you kill me. And I was like, what? All this elaborate shit so she could kill you. Just lie down and let it kill. What's with all that? You make a fake town. You have this big corporation in Tokyo, all for one girl to try and kill you.
Maybe it was his king.
But none of that was conveyed at all either. Like that one episode where
That's
they're
like the
talking-
last 2 seconds of the movie.
Right, but what I'm saying though is like even when they were talking in the TV show where she was talking to him before she forgot her memories, why? Like he didn't explain why he's doing it. Because she thought that she would remember and he thought she wouldn't, or vice versa. I can't even remember what it was, but it's like that's the motivation, is just to see if she can remember that she's a monster.
So bad.
So did the friend die? The one that got away
No,
at the
here's the
TV show?
kicker.
Okay.
So she was working for the guy for a while, and then at the end, she gets away and she becomes governor of Tokyo.
Oh, that's what she wanted to be. So I guess
and she actually is a benefit to the good guys.
she's the real winner then of the
Yeah,
TV
she's
show.
the winner, because in the movie they have like this, Tokyo has this curfew law, and the young misfits are like, man, we gotta get rid of this curfew law. We want to get rid of this curfew law. And then the governor comes up, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the curfew law. Also the internet. Also you can watch porn on the internet now. She would lift internet restrictions or something. It's like,
So let's try to gather.
the movie was a fun turn your brain off watch. Plot's not very good.
Is there any message that we could potentially have gotten from anything from this show? Any one single message?
Don't be a liar.
Maybe
Don't lie to your audience.
I don't know.
I don't know what they were lying about.
I like
but,
that. I mean, that's a fine message, but I don't know what else it would even be. Because you can make like bullcrap messages like, don't
wait for
make
a
deals
million
with
people
somebody
to die
make
when
your
you.
memory go away, and
Yeah.
then hope you can remember that you're a bad guy or something.
Yeah.
Or,
I got nothing. Like even any of the like loyalty or the friendship ones or anything, it's like, well, that's all fake.
well, there's one guy that wasn't fake. The guy that the glasses guy, class rep.
yeah, he's the only
Yeah.
one.
He's like, I'm not fake. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. It's like, hey, wait! Don't shoot a cute anime girl who could survive bullets. Oh.
So here's my next question for you guys: what was the reason for some of the main cast to betray him anyway? Did they just start to like Saya and they're like, we probably shouldn't be doing this to you, like the Truman Show?
I
They're
don't
just
know,
like,
man.
This is kind of weird.
I
Let's
don't
not-
know.
No, they
man.
weren't. But they were trying to get their own agenda. They didn't care about Sarah at all.
Oh, okay.
Like the twins, you mean, and then the
And then the teacher.
teacher and the boyfriend dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they didn't care about Saya. Like, the teacher dude just wanted to, like, learn about Saya because she was interested in vampires or something stupid. But the other people are just like, they're like, whoa, what's in it for me? Like, what can we get out of this? Like, they don't care about Saya.
But why did they betray the main guy in the end, or bad guy? That's my question.
Because the teacher promised them something? I don't really know.
Oh, just another.
I have a feeling this movie would have been this show would have been a lot better if they like kind of truncated all those episodes like into 6 and then pushed the movie one into another 6 and expand upon that because it feels like underdeveloped at points. Just have like,
Is
I
this
like that a lot
is this
better.
a
It's
manga?
better pacing.
yeah.
Is this a manga or a novel or?
Original.
So the original is from Production IG. It's from the screen. Actually, it's from the mind of the screenwriter Kenji Kamamiya, who's coming out with Roar of the Rohirrim later this month.
So
and
wait, is this an anime original?
yeah, so
Oh.
this is the anime original. So Production IG. So they thought of an anime about. They thought of a movie about an anime girl, a vampire girl from the 1960s, killing demons with help of the government, and it was called Blood the Last Vampire. And the movie was fun, but unfortunately it was only like a part of the story they wanted to tell, so it's really short and still kind of unsatisfying, but like it's way more fun to watch than this whole 13 episode series, which tries to explain all their convoluted nonsense. And apparently they did finish the story through light novels, but it's like, come on, make a full movie. I would like it interested me enough. It's like, where's the full thing? Where's the full story? And like, yeah, for a short movie, it's fine, but it's like, I'd say if you want to watch anything Blood, I guess go for Blood Plus. I've heard a lot of positive things about that one, but who knows? I don't know.
I think you guys are both right though. Like pacing is one of the biggest issues.
Yeah.
Like, why do we spend 9 episodes of like 18 minutes
Yeah,
slice of life, 3-minute fight?
if
We
they
do
had,
this
like-
9 times.
If they had like cut that, and, like if they had like mixed that into 6 episodes and put the other 6 like from the movie, that would make so much more interesting. Like, oh, this beginning premise is a lie, and she's actually super badass vampire. That would have made it more interesting. Like changing up the formula. I don't know how good it would have been, but I'd like to see that more. But
And like the other thing too though is like we spend 9 episodes of Saya hanging out with all these characters, but they all suck. I don't care about any of
Yeah.
them. Why do we care about any of them? You know, like I don't know. I guess I just want better writing.
yeah, better writing, definitely.
There's one character you kind of do care about, which is like the boyfriend-esque character. But then like his like death scene, the first time, it's so quick and sudden. Like I had to rewind. Like that was him, right? I had to
Yeah.
rewind to
Yeah.
double check that it was him. I was like, oh, okay. Well, there goes one of the only characters I kind of cared about.
Uh-huh.
And then like what was it, like 30 minutes, like maybe like the beginning of next episode or the end of this episode. That's when it's revealed it's all fake.
I
Yeah.
think that sums it up perfectly. Is the phrase "nothing matters." Nothing matters in this show, and that's my TED talk.
It's sad. It's sad that nothing matters in this show.
Yeah.
I like how you brought up how there's no message either. Like, you're right. There really wasn't a message.
Well, that's like one of my favorite things to pick out of shows. Is like,
It
what's
feels
the
like
main message they're trying to portray?
It feels like a cash grab. Like, hey, let's get these famous manga authors and let's do this IP we have, and let's just do another continuity. And
Wait, they had manga authors to help with this one? or
yeah,
something?
Clamp is a manga group.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This to me felt like there's probably like 4 or 5 people working on this, and nobody could agree on anything. Now it's just a goulash of blood and nothingness.
Yeah.
And a blender.
And a blender.
Gosh.
I thought it was weird when those like monsters at the end were just grabbing and throwing them into their little pot, like their little pocket. And now it made sense after I saw the blender, but I was like, why did they just put them in the pocket? That's weird.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? At first, I thought they were literally just going to punch him and smash him in there, but
And then you see one of them turn their freaking hand into a blender, and it's
Oh.
like, oh, I know where
I
this is
thought it was
going.
kind of creative how they were eating them, like how humans eat, like the shish kebab, twisted off like a pop bottle, twist the head off like a pop bottle. I thought that was kind of creative, but very over the top, very unnecessary.
like the other thing too is like, what world are we in? Why are there monsters? Where'd they come from?
They never explained
It's
that.
like it's like supposed to be a real world, but the monsters are a secret. That's what it is, pretty much.
There was just nothing, dude. There was nothing that I even freaking cared
And
about.
like the monsters were all like, "Oh, you're the bad guy for killing us." And it's like, well, let's explore that. Let's find out why we're the bad guys for killing them. We never did. They were no.
They
were,
explain it in the movie.
okay, I was gonna say the monsters are not the bad. The monsters were lying. Then they were just the bad guys according to the TV show.
It's like they have the pact. They have this pact thing where it's like honor the. They say, "Oh, you didn't honor the covenant." And apparently, like the pact is like you're only supposed to eat. Monsters only supposed to eat a limited number of humans, and then the bad guy at the end explains, "Haven't you noticed that there are more humans growing and less elder barons?" It's like, so we don't even need the pact anymore. It's like, oh well, that's pointless. I guess they'll just go extinct eventually.
Show's bad. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4. It's atrocious. I did not enjoy it whatsoever.
Yeah,
There was a point in the middle where I was like, okay, I'm fine with this. But then like near the ending, I was just like, I hated every moment of this show. The violence normally doesn't get to me when it's like fake and stuff, but for some reason every now and then it kind of did, and I was just like, this is just pointless.
At least I could
hate
give this one
and-
award: most violent show.
Sure.
Do what what you want with it.
Violence doesn't improve a story in my opinion.
exactly.
It does nothing for a
I like
story.
I like Chainsaw Man when it gets violent, but also when it gets emotional. There you go. You got to mix your violence and your emotions. Like Chainsaw Man, he'll rip a devil apart, but he's doing it because there's a hot babe right there.
At least there's motivation.
Yeah, this is motivation. He wants to cop a feel.
Well, that was Blood Sea. Thank you for joining us on this ride that we had to endure. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And that was pretty much our show. Thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you for watching the show and also doing this episode of the podcast with me. Next time, like we said at the beginning, we will be watching a movie. And that movie we'll be watching and talking about next time is Perfect Blue, Satoshi Kon's Perfect Blue. So over the next 2 weeks, watch the show, and we will be discussing it when that episode comes out. So look forward to that.
Wow. I hope this show mixes violence and emotions together well.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
I would really love it if like they're able to use the violence in the show and like actually make it have a meaning towards the plot.
Yeah, have a message, a positive
even
message.
a positive message. Yeah.
Anyways,
thank you guys for listening and watching. I hope you guys have a good one. Have a great life.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.